Welcome to BikeBeat. The 2025 Honda Shadow 750, officially badged as the Shadow Phantom ABS, is one of those motorcycles that carries a reputation long before the key even turns. The Shadow line has been around for decades, and each version has earned its place by being approachable, reliable, stylish, and unpretentious. This year's model continues that tradition, but with just enough refinement to keep it relevant in a market where cruisers often swing between extremes of oversized bravado and stripped-down minimalism. The Phantom walks right down the middle, offering a balance that feels timeless, and it's this equilibrium that makes it one of the most compelling options in the mid-sized cruiser category today. From the very first press of the starter, you're greeted by the familiar beat of the liquid-cooled, 745 cubic centimeters, 52-degree V-twin engine. This is not a motor that's been overhauled to chase horsepower numbers. Instead, it's been refined for smooth, reliable torque that comes on low and steady. For city riding, that torque makes stop-and-go traffic a breeze. You can roll on the throttle gently and the bike responds with a reassuring pull. Out on the open road, it hums along with a relaxed confidence, the 5-speed transmission keeping revs low so you never feel like the engine is working harder than it should. It's not about thrills, it's about ease, predictability, and that satisfying cruiser throb that has made V-twins so enduringly popular. Fuel injection continues to be one of the features that makes this engine so user-friendly. Honda's programmed fuel injection system means no struggling with cold starts in the morning, no sputtering at high altitudes, and no fiddling with adjustments. The throttle response is smooth and consistent across the rev range, and the efficiency is a welcome touch for riders who want a reliable daily commuter as much as they want a weekend cruiser. When paired with Honda's shaft drive, which eliminates the need for messy chain maintenance, you get a bike that feels just as easy to live with as it is to ride. It's those thoughtful engineering choices that give the Shadow a reputation for being a bike you can own for decades without drama. Braking has always been an area where riders wanted an upgrade, and Honda finally listened. The Phantom now comes standard with anti-lock brakes. With a 296mm disc up front and a 276mm disc at the rear, the braking is solid, but with ABS, it's also safe in less than ideal conditions. Whether you're riding in the rain, hitting a patch of gravel mid-corner, or just needing to stop suddenly when traffic surprises you, the system ensures the bike remains composed. For a cruiser of this size and weight, it's a game-changing addition that adds peace of mind to every ride. Visually, the 2025 Shadow Phantom ABS is one of the sleekest versions of the Shadow ever released. Honda has leaned heavily into the blacked-out aesthetic, and the result is a factory bobber look that seems tailor-made for riders who appreciate minimalism. The engine casings, frame, wheels, exhaust, and headlight housing are all finished in black, giving the bike a stealthy, aggressive presence. Chrome is almost entirely absent, which sets it apart from many other cruisers that still cling to bright finishes. The solo saddle reinforces that stripped-down, custom vibe, while the short fenders contribute to the bobber stance. Even the wiring is neatly tucked away, keeping the silhouette clean and purposeful. This is a bike that looks custom-built the moment it leaves the showroom, and that's a rare quality. Comfort remains a priority. With a seat height of just 25.6 inches, the Shadow is incredibly approachable for riders of all sizes. Beginners in particular will appreciate being able to plant both feet flat on the ground, while experienced riders will enjoy the feeling of control that comes from such a low center of gravity. Despite its curb weight of 553 pounds, the bike feels manageable at low speeds. The narrow seat-to-tank junction makes the bike feel slimmer between the legs, which further reduces intimidation factor. Once on the move, the ergonomics are spot on. The mid-mounted pegs strike a balance between stretched-out cruiser posture and upright standard comfort, while the swept-back handlebars keep your arms relaxed. It's a bike you can ride for hours without strain. The suspension is tuned exactly as you'd expect for a mid-sized cruiser, comfortable, predictable, and forgiving. The 41mm front fork offers 5.5 inches of travel, while the twin rear shocks provide around 3.5 inches. This setup won't rival a sport bike in precision, but that's not its mission. What it does offer is a smooth, cushioned ride that absorbs bumps and keeps the bike stable. Paired with 120/90-17 front and 160/80-15 rear tires, the handling is steady, easy to trust, and well suited for long, lazy rides where comfort is the priority. Pricing is another area where the Shadow shines. With a US MSRP of $8,699 plus a $600 destination charge, it undercuts many competitors in the cruiser space while still delivering premium quality and essential modern features. Some dealerships may list it closer to $10,000 after fees, but even at that price, it remains a strong value. Honda has always managed to keep the Shadow accessible without stripping it of its character, and the 2025 model is no different. For riders looking to get into the cruiser scene without breaking the bank, this is one of the most compelling entry points available. On the road, the Shadow Phantom ABS feels calm, collected, and confidence-inspiring. It doesn't ask you to wrestle with it or push it hard to enjoy it. Instead, it rewards you with a steady rhythm and a relaxing pace that makes even short rides feel like an escape. The engine has enough punch to keep things interesting, the brakes are strong and safe, and the handling is stable. Everything about it feels considered, like Honda wanted to deliver a machine that takes away the stress of riding and replaces it with pure enjoyment. What makes the 2025 Shadow Phantom ABS unique is the way it blends its qualities so seamlessly. The blacked-out bobber styling makes it look like a custom project straight from the garage. The shaft drive and fuel injection make it easy to live with and reliable over the long haul. The ABS brings safety into the modern era, and the low seat height ensures nearly anyone can feel confident astride it. It's a bike that appeals to both new riders seeking their first cruiser and experienced riders who just want something uncomplicated and enjoyable. Compared to its rivals, like the Harley-Davidson Sportster or the Yamaha Bolt, the Shadow Phantom doesn't try to compete on raw performance or aggressive branding. Instead, it competes on balance, affordability, and dependability. While the Sportster has more of a rebel image and the Bolt leans toward modern styling cues, the Shadow carves out a niche for riders who want a motorcycle that looks timeless, rides smoothly, and doesn't demand constant upkeep or customization to be enjoyable. At the end of the day, the 2025 Honda Shadow 750 Phantom ABS is about authenticity. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's a cruiser that understands its purpose. To deliver a satisfying, approachable ride with enough style to turn heads and enough substance to keep riders coming back year after year. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it doesn't need to. Instead, it quietly proves that refinement, reliability, and thoughtful design can still make a motorcycle stand out in a crowded market. For anyone looking at the cruiser segment in 2025, the Shadow deserves serious consideration. It's a bike that respects its history while embracing just enough modern upgrades to remain competitive. It's accessible in price, approachable in design, and enjoyable in every mile it covers. The Shadow Phantom ABS isn't chasing fads or trying to dominate headlines, it's content to simply be excellent at what it does. And that, more than anything, is what makes it a bike worth riding.